Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another video brought to you by SeniorCatWellness.com. If you enjoyed today's presentation and find it informative, please feel free to subscribe to this channel, like the video, and share the content. Today's video subject: how to tell off a cat for bad behavior. Before we begin, let's first take a look at today's topic overview. The most effective methods of disciplining cats include creating diversions, assertive commands, clicker training, and rewarding good behavior. Cats can understand no and respond well to timeouts. Your cat needs to associate an undesirable behavior with an unwelcome consequence. Felines are not aware when they've done something wrong, at least not by default, as bad behavior has to be learned through the experience of bad repercussions. Sort of like a child. Kids don't know something is wrong until the behavior is punished. While cats are highly intelligent, they certainly aren't born knowing the difference between right and wrong. However, what is true is that cats can tell if they're in trouble or if they have done something that isn't pleasing. While they won't know exactly what it is, they'll know something is off simply based on your response. This is where that whole repercussions thing enters the fold. Before too long, your pet will connect jumping on the kitchen counter, for example, with your negative response that always just seems to follow. Over time, cats learn the difference between good and bad, at least how the behaviors are depicted in your eyes. When it comes to scolding your cat or telling them off, as we've worded it in today's title, felines really don't get that aspect of things. There's a difference between knowing that you're upset and having it make any true sense. In truth, your cat is more likely to look at you like you've lost your marbles than understand that it's a scolding. In the short term, any type of telling off could result in your pet simply avoiding you for a time, not quite sure what to make of what just transpired. Cats are very sensitive, and a firm tongue lashing is more likely to scare your cat rather than serve any true form of discipline and understanding. Cats respond negatively to fear. This is why the display of outward aggressive behavior in respect to whatever your cat has done could serve to only make matters worse. So, with all that said, how can you truly reach your cat, discipline your cat in a positive way? How can you get your point across and stop your cat's negative behavior without creating a brand new problem? Let's start with the word no. Cats can learn it and respond to it. As an example, if you use the word no rather frequently, rather loud and sharp each and every time your cat does something wrong, a form of recognition will be established over time. Here come those repercussions again. If I do this, they do that. And I don't like when they do that, so I better stop doing this. It's all about word association. The cat getting happy, for example, when you shake those the plastic container of those treats they love just oh so much. Well, that's a form of association, and so is that word no. Rome, my friends, was not built in a day. This is why you must be consistent in your language. Say no if your cat is scratching the sofa, and redirect your pet to a better location, such as the cat tree. And as always, there is a fine line between aggressive and firm. There's no need to sound angry, as that will likely backfire. Just make your direction clear and strong. Patience is the key, but if you can stick with the process, you'll win your cat over, and they'll understand that you mean business in the most loving way possible. Ignoring your cat? Well, that just does not work. At least most of the time, a high percentage of time, it will not work. Similar to aggressive language and yelling, ignoring your pet will only create uncertainty and frustration, leaving your cat unsure just how to behave. In fact, being ignored can potentially lead to more bad behavior. While it is okay to ignore your cat if they're, say, rubbing against your leg, but you're just too busy to pet them, for example, that's not really a undesirable behavior, so you can sort of take that or leave it. However, never ignore your pet if they're a safety risk to themselves due to their very own behavior. If your pet is hissing, growling, scratching, or biting, step in and act. And finally, never ignore your pet if the situation allows them to decide how to behave. Meaning, if your cat is crawling around on your bookcase and is just seconds away from knocking something over, never let your cat decide what's next. That's a risky game, and depending on the situation, it could also be a rather expensive one. In addition to the word no, cats are capable of understanding additional verbal commands. This can aid in the telling off process for bad behavior. Commands such as the word gentle as a means to discourage biting, be gentle. The command stay to be used to keep your cat more or less in one spot. This is helpful when your pet needs a bit of a break from some rambunctious behavior. Supply your cat with a comfortable mat or a towel, just a cooling off spot during times of reckless behavior. And the last command is come, like come here, come here, settle down, come here. This will teach your cat to approach you in a positive way. Recognizing these sounds can allow your pet to break away from a potential negative behavior or behaviors and refocus on you, and perhaps a reward for the recognition, the positive recognition. And with all of these commands, there are certain tricks of the trade that you can apply at your own personal touch, your own personal flair, if you will, saying the word 3 or 4 times in a row, the use of clicking mouth sounds immediately after, and altering your voice to appear to your pet in a bit of a gentler tone. It's certainly not uncommon for many owners to alter their cadence or even change their entire personality when speaking to their cat. Baby talk is very much in vogue at times. The man my cat hears is certainly not the same voice from these videos, I can assure you of that. It's also not the same voice my TV hears during a close football game in the fourth quarter. Now, let's briefly go through a few negative actions and behaviors and offer up a few strategies for each occasion. When it comes to biting, you can use the word no or ouch to create an association. Here again, firm but not angry, stern but not loud. Another way to punish is to leave the room once you've spoken those command words. However, don't confuse this with ignoring, because your response, in this case, is an action. This can teach your cat that the result of biting you is, well, just getting up and leaving altogether. How about them apples? So much for the play companion. Never punish your cat by sending them out of the room. That does nothing. However, if your cat watches you leave immediately after biting you and receiving a verbal scolding, your pet will, they'll soon put two and two together and realize that math equation, well, that one's not so much fun. Unlike biting you, if your cat is scratching on carpets, furniture, what have you, it's really all about some redirection in this case, at least to some degree. We offer up the following tips. Give your cat toys to play with, things that it can scratch, including stuffed animals, catnip, other fun things to play with. Next up, if possible, keep your cat's nails trimmed. And how about this one? Just yell ouch. Just yell out the word ouch whenever your cat scratches you or gets too rough. Here again, more word association. Then after that, maybe get up and move away or just slide to the other end of the sofa, depending on the circumstances. Next up, whenever your cat scratches you or other objects around the house, give it something else to do. And here again, just walk away for a while. It will learn that scratching things won't grant it the attention it thinks it will or even should. Next up, introduce that old fashioned scratching post. And finally, put your cat in a bit of a timeout. That mat and towel we mentioned earlier, put it in its place, if you will, just for a time until it calms down. Then redirect that energy, that positive energy, that ball of energy, if you will, to something more productive, like the aforementioned scratching post. If a potty trained cat starts to act up and refuse to use the litter box or use the litter box, use the area outside of the litter box, we have three potential remedies to offer you today. And here's what you should do. Number one, when your cat uses the restroom outside of the litter box, pick your pet up and place it inside the box. Number two, establish rewards for good behavior by encouraging your cat in a calm voice whenever it uses the litter box correctly. And finally, number three, if your cat is using the bathroom somewhere else, move it to the litter box after saying no firmly so that it associates the command with that unwanted behavior. While this presentation is all about discipline, it's very important to note that going to the bathroom outside of the litter box could be a sign of a medical issue. Before you write off your cat as a contrarian, make sure everything is physically okay. As we always say, those routine vet checkups, they are so very, very important. And before we close up shop for today, let's talk about how to discipline your cat if living on the defensive seems to be the name of the game. If your cat is outright attacking you and others, including other humans and other pets, it's critical to find the root cause if possible. Is your cat in pain? Does the attacking begin when petted on the back? Pain can spark a negative flame in many felines. It's also very important to make sure your cat isn't lashing out due to fear. Is there something in the environment that is unsettling to your pet? If your cat seems angry and threatened, simply leave the room. This is one of those rare occasions where ignoring can be, depending on the circumstances, a good thing, especially if the negative behavior is only triggered by the presence of a certain person or another animal. Remove the stressor and provide your cat a toy as a positive distraction. If your cat attacks you in what essentially amounts to an all out fight, never strike your animal or attempt to go blow for blow. This can cause serious damage in many areas, your skin being one, but also that critical bond of trust. It can only take 15 to 30 seconds for the feline human relationship to come undone. And if your cat is already being aggressive and hesitant and reluctant to trust you, any type of retaliation by you can open up a hornet's nest. If you're on the receiving end of an attack, calmly make your way out of the room. You'll be glad that you did. If you would like more information concerning today's subject matter, please click the initial link in the description box below and join us at seniorcatwellness.com. And once again, feel free to like and share this video and subscribe to the channel if this type of content is of interest to you. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you later.